What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Lockdown 23-1. And as you can see, we are in the think tank, and today we are venturing off into a world that I really don't know too much about. But I can say this: I do know some of the warning signs and some of the lookouts that people can look for when finding snitches, plants, jailhouse plants, informants, CIs, confidential informants. There's all kinds of names for these people. Some people get paid. Some people work for the government. Some people are just inmates trying to get their time cut off. All kinds of different kinds of snitching going on in the institution and on the streets. But today we're going to be talking about the institution and some of the red flags that you might have to spot, especially if you've got a high-profile case, okay, like murder. Any kind of crazy case. So check it out. Ever seen the show 60 Days In? Okay, that's a perfect example of a plant. These guys that aren't convicts, they're not criminals, but they are planted inside the jail to get information to give to the warden, deputy, whatever, captain, lieutenant, whatever, whoever's in charge of that institution. And these guys are typically the ones that get caught up very quick because they're not convicts. They don't have a criminal mind state. You know what I mean? So let's give a couple red flags when it comes to these plants, okay? Plants, they typically have a different lingo to them. They sound proper. They don't know too much about the streets. Almost every single time a plant will say they're from a whole nother area, okay? They're just traveling down the interstate, got hemmed up, or they're doing overnight court, or you might see them go out to see, they'll say they're going to see their attorney a lot. Okay, that's a red flag. If you see someone going to see their attorney more than, 3 times a month, that's a red flag. And I mean, there are certain occasions where inmates that aren't informants will go see their attorney quite a bit, especially if you have a very expensive attorney and he's got to get all the information. Because I remember I had a good attorney, man. He used to pull me out on the regular to get all the information exactly how it was, so that when my court case came around, we could beat it. And we did beat it, bro. Pete, I remember you, buddy. We took that to court and we beat that jank, didn't we, dog? One of these days I'm going to go find him, man. I looked him up on my phone. He's still an attorney. Awesome attorney, man. I need to go thank him, give him a bottle of wine or something, you know what I mean? But anyways, so yeah, going out to see their attorney way too much, okay? Out of state. They're out of state. They don't really talk like they're from the streets. They're nothing like the streets at all, okay? And there's other things you can ask them. When people are getting caught up for snitching or stuff like that in jail, the inmates, once they get a taste, just a little taste that you might be a snitch, man, they're going to ride it till the wheels fall off. They're going to sit there, act like your buddy, and ask question after question. Just like a snitch asks the person that they're trying to get the information off of questions after questions, the convict will do the same thing to the snitch. It's crazy. They'll sit there, ask him question after question, and then they'll be like, this doesn't add up. None of this crap adds up. And then it might take a week. They'll wait 3 days, go and ask the same exact questions again and see how well he's answering them. See what I'm saying? I mean, they'll ask so many questions to the point where the snitch or the plant, well, they're bound to screw up sooner or later. You know what I mean? There's only so much they can just make up off the top of their head, okay? There's only so much that the institution gives them information-wise to say to these convicts, okay? There's always other avenues that a convict can ask a snitch that these guys have never told them to say. You know what I mean? There's only so much training that they can get, unless, they're working for an organization. Not like these 60 Days In guys. These guys don't have no real training when it comes to being an informant, a plant, okay? But unless they're getting paid by an institution, and that's what they do for a living, to go into a jail or prison and get information, those guys are a little harder to crack. You know why? Because that's what they do for a freaking living. For real. That's them. You know what I mean? They are pretty much a convict, but they're not. You know, that's how good they are at being informants and, confidential informants, whatever. You know, a lot of people get paid to literally do this, man. Especially on the streets, infiltrate biker gangs, street gangs, whatever the case is, man. Whichever one is more lucrative, you know what I mean? Whichever one's bringing the most money, that's where those real official informants go to, plants go to, is when where all that money is. It's all about that money, man, regardless of whatever the case is. Now check it out. There's another kind of snitch, okay? And this is called a jailhouse snitch. These guys are just the bottom of the, they're all bottom of the barrel to me. But these guys are even lower than lows because they are convicts. They are locked up, going to court, waiting to go to court, but they do anything and everything to get out of jail, which means they will jump on your case. They'll befriend you, and the guy will tell him the story of what happened, and these guys will get on the phone. You know, in the jail, I was in Chesapeake City Jail has this. I don't think Virginia Beach does. I've only been in 3 different jails, and I believe Chesapeake was the only one that had this. They literally have a number on, let's say you pick up your phone, put in your ID number. You can press another number. There's 2 numbers. You can press another number if you've been raped, and there's another number that you can call to talk to a detective or drop some kind of information, okay? And that's another way that people spot. They'll watch what you dial on the phone. Who are you calling? You know what I mean? Detectives, they all pretty much have the same number. Yeah, for real. People watch and see everything, man. These, these veteran convicts, yeah, they see everything, for real. Now check it out. These inmates that are snitching while in jail, okay, jailhouse snitches, these guys, like I said, they are the bottom of the barrel because they chose to live the life of crime, okay? But they're also trying to be the cop at the same time. You know, you can't have the best of both worlds, my friend. But unfortunately, even though sometimes, more than likely, sooner or later, it's going to come back to bite you. You know what I mean? These guys, like I said, they will take information from your case. You'll tell them a story about what's going on while you're in there. And that's why I always said in some of my videos, if you got a high-profile case, if you've been moving kilos, pounds, you got a murder case that you didn't commit a murder or something, anything like that, man, shut your mouth. Shut your freaking mouth, because people are going to be jumping on that like white on rice, man. For real. And even if you don't open your mouth, okay, check this out. There is jailhouse snitches that will literally make up bullcrap to get time cut off of their sentence, okay? For real. They will call the detective and say, hey, as soon as they find out you're coming in with a body, if you're coming in with a murder charge, within a day, these guys will get on the phone, talk to whoever they need to talk to, write whoever they need to write, and say, hey, inmate so-and-so, he just told me the whole story. He might have just got bits and pieces of it from the news. You know what I mean? Watch the news. Everyone watches the news around 11 o'clock in jails. And he might get little bits and pieces of it. You know what I mean? And then make his own story and tell the detectives. And the detective's like, all right, that's what I'm talking about. I don't care if it's true or a lie. I'm going to run with it. You know what I mean? That's how it goes. And believe it or not, there is thousands of people in jail and prison sitting in there doing time for a charge that they did not commit because of a jailhouse snitch made up some bullcrap bogus story in order to get his time cut. For real, man. It's very sad. And believe it or not, check this out. These snitches are so good at lying and cheating the system that a lot of states, a jury trial, snitches are not allowed to be in a jury trial. Okay, the trial would not be held by a jury because the jury actually believes snitches about 90% of the time. These guys are so good at telling stories that they have to leave it up to a judge to determine whether or not the credibility of the story of the snitch is true or false. Because they are so good at what they do that jurors almost 100% of the time believe them. You know what I mean? And if you do have an option for a jury or a judge or a bench trial, which is a judge, if you got, confidential informants or jailhouse snitches testifying against you, your best bet's to go with a judge. Because those snitches, they're good at telling stories. And I'll tell you right now, a jury of your peers, which is just regular people down the neighborhood. Matter of fact, my mom's about to be a jury member. She got jury duty. She called me, and they gave her jury duty. And within the next month. And, these people, man, they don't see nothing. But they watch a lot of TV and stuff like that. And they're not convicts. So they believe very easily. They're very gullible when it comes to storytelling. For real. You know what I mean? I remember one time I just got out of prison. I got served with jury duty. No. I was in prison. Can you believe that? I was in prison and got served with jury duty. And my old lady was like, they're trying to say you need to be a jury witness. I said, what? I said, man, you better call them immediately. Tell them I'm in prison, man. Because if you don't show up to jury duty, that's a charge. Yeah, that's right. You get some jury duty, you're going to have to do it. Unless, like me, I'm in prison. I was just like, God, man, you need to tell them I'm in prison. You know what I mean? Before they give me a charge, I get violated while I'm in prison. And go through the whole process before I can even get out. You know what I mean? So it's absolutely crazy. And the system is definitely congested for them to be sending me, of all people, jury duty. I've been a freaking felon since I was like 13. You know what I mean? It's absolutely insane. But, yeah, jailhouse snitches, man, they are the trickiest of them all as well because they are convicts. And a convict can't even distinguish between the two because they are convicts. You know what I mean? And, they're smart. They don't sit there and say, hey, they'll sit there and tell the detective or something, look, only come once a month. I'm going to call you once a month. Don't call me out. Don't do nothing else. I don't want no cigarette. None of that. None of that. You know what I mean? That's how it goes because these guys are smart. They know what other convicts look for. So those are the most dangerous snitches in my eyes is the jailhouse or prison snitches, man. For real. They are good at what they do. And then there's also, confidential informants. These guys literally work for a government agency. Okay, they're getting paid. They're getting paid money, salary, whatever. They get close to whoever organization that they need to get close to. And they're professionals, man. You know what I mean? It's absolutely insane how many different types of... I'm getting lost on how many different types of snitches there are. You know what I mean? And there's also... And check this out, man. I got a crazy story to go with snitching. For real. Very crazy story at the end of this. Me and my old lady can testify to this, man. It was a crazy story. As a matter of fact, I'll just tell it right now really quick. I had a homeboy, man. I had a homeboy. His name was Ghost. This guy was a pretty cool dude. I met him in Chesapeake City Jail. He was a really cool dude. He made me laugh a lot, man. And that's the only reason why I liked him. We both got out of jail. He gave me his phone number. And I think we linked up once or twice out in the streets. I think we might have had a couple beers or something. And, one night, he calls me. Okay, he calls me to pick him up. I'm with my old lady. I don't even know if we were married yet. But I know she remembers this. He calls me one night and says, hey, man, can you give me a ride home, man? I'm stuck at the club. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm right there. I'll come scoop. You know what I mean? So my old lady's driving. We drive over there, pick him up. And as soon as he gets in the car, bah, 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 shots fired, man. Shots fired at the club right at my old lady's Jeep. Can you believe that? He jumps in the car and says, go, 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 go. Man, it was absolutely insane. That was my second gunfight, pretty much. It wasn't a gunfight because I wasn't shooting back. But I was caught up in the mix. And so was my old lady. So she speeds off. And we're like, man, I'm like, what? I'm talking to him going crazy. Like, what happened, man? What's going on? He's like, some crazy stuff, man, And he doesn't tell me too much about it. He's all drunk and stuff. And he's like, yo, take me out to Portsmouth. Portsmouth's like a whole nother city away. And I hate Portsmouth. I hate Portsmouth with a passion. Not the people. Just some of the areas out there, man. They're straight trick-ups. You know what I mean? Guaranteed to get locked up. And I just don't like Portsmouth whatsoever. Their jail is the nastiest freaking jail out of all the 7 cities of Tidewater, I think it is the nastiest one of them all, man. But anyways, we get to Portsmouth, we're crossing the bridge, and we're going through the projects. So I'm a little weary about going into this place. I don't know nothing about this particular project, and I go up in there, and I drop off my homeboy Ghost, you know what I mean? And within 30 seconds of him getting out the car, more shots fired. Bah, bah, bah. This one hits the back of my old lady's bumper, man. Bumper, that's right. People were trying to kill this man. For real. And I had him in my car the whole time. Anyone could have easily pulled up at a stoplight and gunned us all down. And it turned out later on down the road when I got locked up in Virginia Beach that I heard this, that homeboy was a freaking snitch. Had no idea. Had no earthly idea, man. And that just goes to show you, a veteran convict, I didn't even notice. You know what I mean? There was no red flags, no signs, no nothing. But this guy, turns out, been snitching in the jail for years. Getting time cut off his sentence, man. It's absolutely unbelievable. I could have died that night, man. Or anything. I could have gotten a bad rep if anyone knew exactly who I was picking this freaking clown up. That was the last time I've ever heard from him. You know what I mean? It's absolutely insane, man, these guys out here. I just don't see how that can happen, you know what I mean? I just don't see how someone could bury someone in prison like that, you know? Without a second thought of it, how much pain that they're going to cause to this person. You know what I mean? It's a very sad thing all over trying to get out of time that you did. You did the crime, do the time. You know what I mean? They don't want to do the time, so they're going to give it to someone else. Low scum of the earth, man, for real. So yeah, you know, there's all kinds of different ways to spot these guys, man. But sometimes it is very hard. You know what I mean? There's another thing, like the show 48 Hours, okay? Check it out. This just goes to show you that, I think about this a lot when I watch that show. It's called The First 48 Hours. People get brought into the interrogation room. They show the picture of the guy's mugshot before they even go. This is funny too, look. They will show the picture. Let's say there's a murder, homicide. Okay, they got some kind of witnesses that they need to find, all right? So they find them. They find the witnesses that might be linked to the murder, okay, that were there during the murder. So they'll go find them. And they'll show everyone on national television their mugshot. This is who we're looking for. You know what I mean? This is who we're looking for. Hopefully we can find them and get some information, this, that, and the third. Okay? They find them. And I've seen this before. They find them and they put them into the interrogation room and they let everyone across the whole nation see that this guy is dropping dime. Now, I have no problem with that. I believe he should be seen. Okay? He should be seen. But these guys, they don't even know that they're about to be on national television. These guys, they live in the projects. And then once anyone sees that show, he ain't gonna have no life no more. He can't go back to that freaking area. You know what I mean? So these guys, they don't even know that dropping dime on these people, they don't even know that they're being recorded and they're gonna be on First 48. It's crazy, man. Even though I have no problem with these snitches being exposed in their face, there's a website, man. There's a website that I look at on the regular for people in this area. You can type in the area and find all the informants, all the plants and everything. Not so much plants, but Jailhouse, snitches, informants, they are in there. If they're registered, they are in there, man. And they're not registered by the government. They're registered by the people. Yeah. It's absolutely insane. And it literally describes exactly what they've dropped dime on and what their MO is. What they work and look after. Snitching is a job, man. It's definitely a job for these people. And it's crazy to think that all this stuff is going on, man. The system is so wild. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable. Anyways, man, I could talk about this stuff forever. So let me just give a quick rundown of some of the major red flags to look for when you're locked up, incarcerated for informants, okay? Homeboy leaves the block, comes back smelling like a cigarette or an Arby's sandwich. He's a snitch. Homeboy leaves the block more than 3 times a week. Got a Busch Gardens theme park Disneyland t-shirt on. I'm just playing, but yeah, if he leaves the block a little too much, he's more than likely an informant, man, for real. He gets on the phone and dials the freaking, you gotta watch the phone pad. Okay, they dial the freaking emergency hotline number or the detective information hotline number. A person that can't even answer all the questions that you asked him a week later from after you asked him. Dig in deep to the homeboy, you know what I mean? Dig into him. Ask him all kinds of questions. What area were you born? What, you know, stuff like that. Slowly but surely get all the information you need. If you can't remember what his answer was, write it down. So that a week and a half from when you asked him, ask him again and see if he answers all the stuff correctly. Watch his facial expressions. Watch his movements. You know what I mean? Look at his eyes. Look him dead in his freaking eyes when you talk to him. Okay? Through these eyes is the window of the soul, my friends, for real. Check and see what his paperwork is. You can ask him, like they do out in Cali, homeboy, where's your paperwork? Or you can just run up in the cell when he's taking a shower and shake down his whole freaking bunk and look for the paperwork. If he ain't got no paperwork, then that's when you ask him. If he tells you some kind of crazy story, that's when you go ask the CO. Okay? And a lot of people that are locked up, they ain't going to do this stuff because the stuff that I'm saying that you do to try to find this stuff, this is what veteran convicts look for. Not some amateur first time, even second time going to jail. I'm not saying that it's good to be a veteran convict. I'm just telling you this is how it rolls. A lot of people, when they first or second time going to jail, they don't do this stuff. They're just trying to survive. Okay? The convicts that know they're going to survive, that pretty much look at jail and penitentiary as their second home, these are the individuals that will be doing all these kind of interrogations to these supposedly snitches, plants, informants, whatever the case is, man. You know what I mean? But stuff really happens. It's real out there. This game, it's a game. It's the street game. You want to be a part of the streets? You better be ready for that side of the game, my friend, because it happens on a regular basis. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, please do so now, man. I got plenty more content coming y'all's way. I think tomorrow I'm going to do a video on a relationship status. That's right, relationship status. It's going to be a really good video. And also I got another video coming, 10 things that I like about prison and 10 things that I hate about prison. Top 10 for both sides. And believe it or not, you know, some people are going to say, oh, you like things about prison? No, you know, I'm not going to lie to you. There are some things that I enjoyed about the penitentiary. For real. Okay? No matter where I'm at, I'm going to find some way to enjoy my life. Regardless of what situation I'm in, my friend. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean I'm glorifying prison. I hate prison. Okay? I hate it. I see a lot of people saying I glorify the penitentiary. Man, you got old death twisted, my friends. Penitentiary sucks. For real. And also, do not forget to check out my Patreon. The link is in the description of the video, and the merchandise and Twitch and Twitter. Man, I haven't been playing Twitch lately because there just ain't no games out there I want to play. All the Call of Duties I've been playing, I'm kind of bored with. I get bored within 40 minutes of playing it. I'm waiting for Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, the new Tomb Raider. And there's another game too. I forget what it was. But it looked really good, and I'll be playing that on Twitch soon too. So add me up on Twitch and look forward to those games coming out. I'm going to be doing it on the regular. And as always, man, I want to thank everyone who's already subscribed and hits that like button before they even watch the video, man. Salute to every last one of y'all for supporting this channel. And just remember this, man. This is me. No matter how many subscribers I get on YouTube, I am never, ever gonna change, my friends. Until the next time.